Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Mega love shout out all the subscribers and followers of this channel. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And this is Marife Adonis Official. Today we're going to discuss about what is a permaculture. Right? According to Wikipedia, a permaculture is an approach to land management and settlement design that adopts arrangements observed in flourishing natural ecosystems. It includes a set of design principles derived using whole system thinking. It applies these principles in the fields such as regenerative agriculture, town planning, rewilding, and community resilience. The term was coined in 1978 by Bell Mollison and David Holmgren Green, who formulated the concept in opposition to modern industrialized methods, instead of adopting a more traditional or natural approach to agriculture. Permaculture has been criticized as being poorly defined and unscientific. Critics have pushed for less reliance on anecdote and extrapolation from ecological first principles in favor of peer-reviewed research to substantiate productability claims and to clarify methodology. Peter Harper from the Center of Alternative Technology suggests that most of what passes for the permaculture has no relevance to real problems. Defenders of permaculture reply that researchers have concluded it to be a sustainable alternative to conventional agriculture that is strongly enhances carbon stacks, soil quality, and biodiversity, making it an effective tool to promote sustainable agriculture, ensure sustainable production patterns, combat climate change and halt and reverse land degradation and the biodiversity loss. They further point out that the most permaculture's most common methods, such as agroforestry, polycultures, and water harvesting, features are also backed by a peer-reviewed research. In 1911, Franklin Hiram King wrote Farmers of 40 Centuries or Permanent Agriculture in China, Korea, and Japan, describing farming practices of East Asia designed for permanent agriculture. In 1929, Joseph Russell Smith appended King's term as a substitute for three crops, a permanent agriculture, which he wrote in response to widespread deforestation, plow agriculture, and erosion in the eastern mountains and hill regions of the United States. He proposed the planting of three fruits and nuts as human and animal food crops that could stabilize watersheds, restore soil health. Smith saw the world as an interrelated whole and suggested mixed systems of trees with understory crops. This book inspired individuals such as Toyohiko Kagawa, who pioneered forest farming in Japan in 1930s. Another pioneer, George Washington Carver, advocated for practices now common in permaculture, including the use of crop rotation, to restore nitrogen to the soil and repair damaged farmland in his work at Tuskegee Institute between 1896 and his death in 1947. In his 1964 book, Water for Every Farm, the Australian agronomist and engineer P.E. Yeomans advanced a definition of permanent agriculture as one that can be sustained indefinitely. Yeomans introduced both an observation-based approach to land use in Australia in 1940s and in 1950s, the K-line design as a way of managing the supply and distribution of water in semi-arid regions. Other early influences include Stewart Brand's works, Root Stout, and Esther Deans, who pioneered no-dig gardening, and Masanobu Fukuoka, who in late 1930s in Japan began advocating no-till orchards and gardens and natural farming. In late 1960s, Bell Mollison, senior lecturer in environmental psychology at the University of Tasmania, and David Hogg Green, graduate student at the Dean Tasmanian College of Advanced Education, started developing ideas about stable agricultural systems on the southern Australian island of Tasmania. The recognition of unsustainable nature of modern industrialized methods and their inspiration from Tasmanian Aboriginal and other traditions practices were critical to their formulation of permaculture. In their view, industrialized methods were highly dependent on non-renewable resources and were additionally poisoning land and water, reducing biodiversity, and removing billions of tons of topsoil from previously fertile landscapes. They responded with permaculture. This term was first made public with the publication of their 1978 book, Permaculture 1. Permaculture is a philosophy of working with rather than against nature, of protracted and thoughtful observation rather than protracted and thoughtless labor, and of looking at plants and animals in all their functions rather than treating any area as a single product system. Okay, this is Vel Mollison. The father, or who had been described as the father of permaculture, cites Aboriginal Tasmanian belief system as an inspiration of that practice. Following the publication of Permaculture 1, Mollison responded to widespread enthusiasm for the work by traveling and teaching a 3-week program that became known as Permaculture Design Course. It addressed the application of permaculture design to growing in major climatic and soil conditions, to the use of renewable energy and natural building methods, and to invincible structures of human society. He found radiate audiences in Australia, New Zealand, the USA, Britain, and Europe, and from 1985 also reached the Indian subcontinent and southern Africa. By the early 1980s, the concept had broadened from agriculture system towards sustainable human habitats, and at the first international permaculture convergence and gathering of graduates of the PDC held in Australia, the curriculum was formalized and its format shortened to 2 weeks. After Permaculture 1, Mollison further refined and developed the ideas while designing hundreds of properties. This led to 1988 publication of his global reference work, Permaculture, a designs manual. Mollison encouraged graduates to become teachers and set up their own institutes and demonstration sites. Critics suggest that his success weakened permaculture's social aspiration of moving away from industrial social forms. They argue that the self-help model, or akin to franchising, has had the effect of creating market-focused social relationships that the originators initially opposed. The ethics on which permaculture builds are: first, care for the earth, provision for all life systems to continue and multiply. Second, care of people. Provision for people to access those resources necessary for their existence. Third, setting limits to population and consumption. By governing our own needs, we can set resources aside to further the above principles. Mollison's in 1988 formulation of the third ethic was restated by Holmgren in 2002. As set limits to consumption and reproduction and redistribute surplus, and is elsewhere condensed to share the surplus. The foundation of ethics. Permaculture emphasizes patterns of landscape, functions, and species assemblies. It determines where these elements should be placed so they can provide maximum benefit to the local environment. Permaculture maximizes synergy of the final design. The focus of permaculture, therefore, is not on individual elements, but rather on the relationships among them. The aim is for the whole to become greater than the sum of its parts, minimizing waste, human labor, and energy input, and maximum benefits through synergy. Permaculture design is founded in replicating or imitating natural patterns found in ecosystems because these solutions have emerged through the evolution over thousands of years and have proven to be effective. As a result, the implementation of permaculture design will vary widely depending on the region of the earth it is located in. Because permaculture's implementation is so localized and place-specific scientific literature for the field is lacking or not always applicable. Design principles derive from the science of systems ecology and the study of permaculture examples of sustainable land use. A core theme of permaculture is the idea of people care. Seeking prosperity begins with a local community or culture that can apply the tenets of permaculture to sustain an environment that supports them and vice versa. This contrasts with the typical modern industrialized societies, which locally generational knowledge is often overlooked in the pursuit of wealth or other form of societal leverage. The tragic reality is that very few sustainable systems are designed or applied by those who hold power, and the reason for this is obvious and simple. To let people arrange their own food, energy, and shelter is to lose economic and political control over them. We should cease to look to power structures, hierarchical systems, or government to help us and devise ways to help ourselves, according to Bill Mollison. Holmgren articulated 12 permaculture design principles in Permaculture Principles and Pathways Beyond Sustainability. Observe and interact. Take time to engage with nature to design solutions that suit particular situation. Catch and store energy. Develop systems that collect resources at peak abundance for use in times of need. Obtain a yield. Emphasize projects that generate meaningful rewards. Apply self-regulations and accept feedback. Discourages inappropriate activity to ensure that system functions well.